Today, as I said, I'm going to go through adding a sales invoice, but purchase orders, as I said, are exactly the same. They just sit on the other side. So I'm going to come down to the transactions menu and we're going to go to sales invoices. So when you click on to sales invoices, similar to your payments, you'll have a list of all of those that you've already created. So this is everything in the current year, plus anything that might still be outstanding from prior years. You've got a quick search box at the top here, which you can use to search for any of your individual invoices. You've also got a filter option on the right-hand side where you can come into the invoice box and use it really to search for anything specific, a little bit more information that you're looking for. So are you looking for a specific description or a specific supplier, etc.? And you can use that within the filter here. Don't forget, if you have applied any of these filters, to clear them at the end, because if you have applied a filter to your search criteria and you come to any of your list views, if not all of the records are here as you're expecting them to be, it's probably because you've got one of those filters enabled. So I'm now going to create a new one. There's multiple ways of adding records into any of your list views. We've also got the plus button on the left here. There's also one next to the name for sales invoices in the top left. The more traditional method is using the edit button in the top right-hand corner and then going to add. Then we're going to fill out some basic details. You'll recognise these from your normal cash book. So what's the tender type for your invoice? I'm going to select that this is an online payment and it's coming out of my current account or going into my current account. So then a description of your invoice. I'm going to do an allotment rent today. So I've already got a description set up for that. So I can just start typing the word allotment and we can see that I've got one there for allotment fees. Then either add in your new customer or search for them if they already exist. So I'm just going to, again, choose one that I have already for John Smith. You've got the date that you'd like to show on your invoice, so it's defaulted by today. You've got the menu option there to either choose that or you can retype it as well. I'm going to stick with today, and then you've got the due date of the invoice, so I'm just going to go with 2 weeks after today. You obviously pop in a purchase order date and purchase order number if you need to. Then you're going to add your items. So my name for this, as it's already my allotment fee, is just going to be that it is for plot A2. You can then allocate your cost centre. So I've got one here for allotments, which I use for other items, but for the main rents, that comes under my income cost centre. And I'm then going to choose here my rental for my allotment plot. Type in my VAT type, and then obviously the value for that invoice. Now, at this time, you can either add another item or copy and change the items from above. So I'm going to add an item here, and I'm going to add in the water for my plot this time. This comes underneath my cost centre of allotments, and I've then got a cost code there specifically for allotment water. So again, typing in your VAT type and the value for the water payment that you've got. You can continue building anything else that you want to for those invoices. Adding any additional notes that you want. You can also select your footer text. I'll show you how to customize this footer text in a moment. So I've got multiple ones set up here. I've got my default footer text. I've got one for my cemetery invoices and another one here for my allotment invoices. You may only have one or you may have multiple. As I have more than one and one specifically for my allotment invoices, I'm going to choose that one. And we can see that the footer text that I've already pre-selected is telling me to make those checks payable to Scribe Parish Council. Add any future payment references or minute references that you need to. You can also upload any attached files that you want to. You then have the option to either add the record into your sales invoices or add and repeat. So if you're doing your whole lot of allotment invoices for the year, you might find that add and repeat is much easier for you, because then all you need to do is obviously change your plot name and your supplier. Mine's just a one-off for today though, so I'm going to use add. So it's now going to show me a copy of the actual invoice. So I've got my parish council name in the top left-hand corner. I've got the logo in the top right. And again, we'll have a look in a moment at how I've actually popped those in there. So you've got your council address showing. I've suffixed mine with my telephone number so that people can contact me. And then I've got the customer's name and address. Invoice number and account number are automatically generated by the system. We can see the invoice date there and the due date appearing on the invoice. Then we've got the invoice details itself. So for allotment fees, I've got both the plot A2 and the water showing on there. I've set my system up to accept integrated online payments with Stripe. So we can see here that I've actually got an online payment link here where the customer can literally just click onto the payment link and pay that invoice online. If you do have a linked account with Stripe and they make that payment online, then that will actually come through and it will create both the payment and the receipt entry into the cash book for you. If you don't have that set up, of course, then you'll just have that standard footer text that comes through. So having updated that now, we can see that my footer text, as I'd chosen for the allotments, is now showing at the bottom here. Please make checks payable to Scribe Parish Council. So as you've got this invoice that's sitting here now, if you have opened up the system in Google Chrome, you've got the ability here to download the email directly to your computer, or you can also print a copy of it there as well. Using the Actions button in the top right-hand corner, you can also share this. So if you click on to share, it just creates a link with that PDF. So you've then got the ability to copy that and obviously share it outside of Scribe if you want to as well. With the Actions button there, you can still also download it to PDF. So I know I was using the download and print buttons from here, but you can obviously also use them up in the top right-hand corner.